What do you have to do as a member of the Commission on Presidential Debates? What do you do for 4 years? You sit around and ponder the debates. You think, well, we're going to have 1 debate, we have 2 debates, we have 4 debates. Let's have 5 debates. No. Let's have 3 debates. Let's have 1 vice presidential debate. So we'll have a debate on September 15th, have a debate on October 4th. Bam, you've done it in 15 seconds. These people have been on somebody's payroll for 4 years, sitting around pondering the presidential debates. And you ought to see them on TV. They look so troubled. They look so introspective, as though this is the most monumental thing. Who ever heard of the League of Women Voters until it comes time for one of these presidential debates? And then they become the most important people in the world, and it takes them 15 seconds to do their job. The most challenging thing is to come up with the right leftist news anchors to ask the embarrassing questions. We'll be back in a minute.
Stay tuned for more Rush right here on WABC.
Imagine a news show where this happened.
Out off the wires, a major heat wave, another tax hike, and my co-anchor's on-air allergy attack. Bob, how are you?
Better. I took Benadryl. About those taxes.
Benadryl works fast.
That's right. State officials
You
say...
were sneezing your head off.
Yeah,
Just
and my
sneeze.
nose was running, all right? But the Benadryl worked.
When allergies come on this strong, Benadryl comes on stronger.
Now, may I finish?
Unless you'd like to sneeze for us again.
No, thank you.
Benadryl, recommended by more doctors, trusted by people with allergies. Use as directed.
Life for me used to be very dull. All too often, I just sat home alone watching TV. But for me, television wasn't very exciting. Just a picture on a tube, familiar faces, familiar sounds, a poor imitation of life.
But now, all that's changed. Now, with a touch of my universal remote control, I'm no longer at home. I'm making bombing runs over enemy territory. Playing center field in the World Series. Climbing Mount Everest. I've left my home and entered the world of RCA's home theater with dynamic SRS sound, incredible 52-inch projection pictures. So real, it's scary.
You're the most exciting man I ever met.
See what I mean?
So...
Here, should I change the channel?
Uh-huh.
The RCA 52-inch projection TV. Bigger, brighter, more exciting than anything out there.
Almost anything.
It's important that you listen to this message, especially during these times of declining interest rates. For years, investors have used zero-coupon bonds as a wealth-building opportunity. They're doing the same thing today with CMO Zeros from Curlin Securities. Are you aware that the financial planners over at Curlin Securities have available CMO Zeros with anticipated yields of 8.5%? That's right, 8.5%. These bonds are ideal for retirement plans, a child's education, or any important future goal. A small investment today at a discount brings back a large total return in the future. Interest rates are low. These 8.5% CMO Zero bonds collateralized by U.S. government agency securities may be the wealth-building investment you are looking for. Good bonds don't last. Call Curlin Securities today at 1-800-899-9400. The anticipated yield, market value, and projected life of the security will fluctuate depending on actual prepayment experience and current interest rates. 7.5% coupon at $89.50. Member NASD and SIPC. 1-800-899-9400. If you're a New Jersey driver and have been considering installing LoJack in your new or existing vehicle, here's some good news. LoJack has extended their special offer of the complete LoJack auto security system, which includes a LoJack Retrieve stolen vehicle recovery device and LoJack Alert, a remote auto alarm, for the incredibly low price of $699. Similar systems are priced as much as $1,000. But now you can get the LoJack top-of-the-line system for only $699. What's more, by protecting your vehicle with LoJack, New Jersey drivers automatically qualify for a 25% discount off their comprehensive auto insurance. Insurance regulations in New Jersey grant discounts for vehicles equipped with auto security. The highest discount going is to vehicles equipped with LoJack. Using LoJack, police can follow a homing signal directly to the stolen car and recover it quickly before serious damage occurs. So for the best protection for your car and the best price, still only $699, stop by your authorized LoJack dealer or call 800-95-LoJack, 800-95-LOJACK. Call now, 1-800-95-LoJack.
I saw you on 60 Minutes, and I think that any woman that isn't attracted to you, Rush, has to be a lesbian. Has to be.
Rush Limbaugh. On the cutting edge of societal evolution, serving humanity, executing everything I'm supposed to do flawlessly. Zero mistakes. Again, if you would like to contribute to the relief effort, Florida and Louisiana for Hurricane Andrew, Red Cross has a national number that you can call. It's 800-842-2200. 800-842-2200. I have done more investigation. I am convinced now. I'm convinced I've got the real thing. I'm convinced I've got it. Well, it's still going to be promoting this show. What, are you saying don't do it in there? Are you saying don't do it? You saying don't do it? Come on. Do it. Okay. All right. Part what? What? Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, folks, got a homeless update coming up today. We never get to it. I don't know. I'm perplexed now. Okay. Okay. Let's. Got it here. I'm turning the pages. It's on page 43, the real meat of this thing. No. I'm not, you don't understand here, folks. I am fearful of nothing. I'm not afraid of anything. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm wondering if this is the right way to do this, or if we need to build up a big fanfare, like, say, be here Monday where we'll read the script to you. Be here Monday where we'll share this with you. Be here Monday when we'll do all of this other stuff. Or just do it. And then see who tries to break into my apartment over the weekend. See if I have any security problems over the weekend. See what happens here. I am not going to do all the voices. I'm not going to do any of the voices. I mean, I'll read it, but I'm not going to affect my voice. I'm not going to change my voice. I'll just read the script here to you. But it could be kind of neat if we force them to have to change it, and rewrite the script. Because if people know what's good. But see, even at that, even if you know what's going to be said, you're still going to tune in to hear it said on the sitcom. I'm not a fool. I'm not an idiot. I understand psychology. I'm the first one that told you people about the fraud and deceit that Perot was using, precisely because I understand psychology. Let me take a phone call. I'll think about it even more. Carol in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Hi, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Hi.
Megadittos from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, the home of Phillips Petroleum Company.
Ooh, evil oil company.
Yeah, you have a big following here.
Thank you very much.
And I wanted to tell you about, three things to pat you on the back. First of all, we were in South America, my whole family, my husband and I and 3 children this summer, for a short-term mission project. We went down to help with construction of a Christian school. And while we were down there, a friend of ours here in town, Kathy Archambault, would tape your program every day. She would delete the commercials, which was very nice, and sent it to us all the way to South America. And we would get it about 2 months late. 2 weeks late. We were in Suriname, which is a small country in the northern coast of South America.
Right.
And we were without telephone and without television and without any transportation other than occasionally borrowing bicycles. And listening to you was our major source of entertainment and news for the whole 2 months that we were down there. And we even got to sharing the tapes with other people down there that had never heard of you. There was one missionary family that had been down there for 12 years. And they were so intent that they were trying to find somebody on a ham radio or shortwave or whatever those radios are where people try to listen a long ways off.
That's right. Shortwave.
Yeah, they were going to try to find somebody here in the States that would be able to get it on the radio and get it to them clear down to South America. So just wanted, and my 10-year-old son was the one, he listened to the tapes over and over and over and was clearing up everybody's misconceptions about Ross Perot and all that sort of thing.
See, taking these young skulls full of mush.
That's right.
Shaping them and forming them into future great, rich Republican conservatives.
Yes, that's right. And then while we were down there, we ended up, it's a long story, but we ended up bringing a 20-year-old girl home with us to immigrate.
Yeah.
And she just went last night to her first college class. She just graduated from high school at this Christian school.
What college class?
Well, it's a Comp 1, and she's just taking a 3-hour class, and she's just been here 3 weeks, and toward the end of class, they had to write an essay on what the major issue was in the presidential campaign. And so she wrote that it was family values. And so she was telling us this after class, and I said, well, I know how you knew that. And she said, yeah, just from being around you guys listening to Rush Limbaugh since I've been here.
Well.
And she said that all of the other kids in the class standing around during the break said they had no earthly idea what to write about. So here she was, just been here 3 weeks, and knew what the main issue of the campaign was, even though she was an American, just from hearing it from you, Rush.
And I'll bet the rest of those jerk students are voting for Clinton.
Probably so. Probably so. Although this is a fairly conservative town.
You find Clinton supporters everywhere.
Well.
You do. You find them everywhere, underneath rocks, hiding, under moss and that kind of thing.
That's true. That's true. I was also going to mention you talked about yesterday, you were talking about the teacher salaries and all that sort of thing.
Oh, yes.
While we were down there, we were working with this Christian school, and they have about 300 students.
Mm-hmm.
And the teachers make, of course, the economy is a lot different. Things are cheaper, but still it's a very poor country, and the people are very poor. And the teachers made about $65 a month.
$65 a month, and they're overpaid at that. These people get vacations. The one thing we didn't, just kidding. The one thing we didn't mention yesterday is these salaries include all the health, the benefits, retirement, and 3 months off every summer, and which adds up to a year off every 7. Quite a life. And maternity leave, family leave, whatever else it is. Then you have student assistants come in, actually read those rotten term papers that the students write. And somebody else grade those things. Set up your lesson plans your first year in school, and that's it. The rest of your life, you coast. And then you go on strike to protest how unfairly you're being treated in about the second year if you've been a teacher. And then if you end up lucky enough in New York, you got to teach anal sex with all kinds of books and so forth. And then it's a great life. It really is, and I think more people ought to aspire to it. I'm glad you called, Carol. Thanks so much. Who's next on this show? This is Byron in Clearwater, Florida. Byron, hello. Welcome to the EIB Network.
Hi, Rush.
Hi.
Kudos from Clearwater, Florida.
Thank you.
Basically, I wanted to speak on an article that I found in the Wall Street Journal yesterday about the Clintons and the lawyers.
Yeah.
And it's regarding Mr. Clinton's influenceability or control that apparently they have over him. Mr. David H. Williams, who is the president of the Arkansas Trial Lawyers Association, sends out a letter of fundraising pleas for Governor Clinton. And he not only recommends Governor Clinton, but he says dig down deep and give. In this letter, he explains how legal reform was actually stopped dead in Arkansas in '87.
By Clinton. By Clinton.
Well, yes, by Clinton. He goes on to say in this letter that we immediately got on the horn to the governor about this, and the tort reform part of the legislative package was pulled. He goes on to boast that during another session, I remember a bill that had whistled through the Arkansas House and Senate that would have given immunity from liability to Good Samaritan doctors who provided medical care to indigent patients. Once again, we got on the horn to Governor Clinton, who vetoed the bill. This is from the same candidate who claims to be outraged by the lack of health insurance for the poor.
Let me, that's exactly right. Let me read to you from Jeff Greenfield's column today. It's actually about how Bush is focusing on the wrong stuff with Clinton and what he ought to be focusing on and what he ought to be asking. And one of the questions that Jeff Greenfield thinks that Bush should be zeroing in on Clinton with: how can Governor Clinton run as the candidate of change when he is in political and financial bondage to the legal profession, which stands in the way of structural change in areas ranging from health care to the rebuilding of the country's infrastructure? This is a widely accepted position that Governor Clinton is vulnerable on. And here again, we are drawn to the relevance of his wife, Hillary, as to his stand on a particular issue. He does not want any legal reform, tort reform, as it's called. And it's a point well made. Byron, thanks very much for calling. A quick break here, folks, and back with more in a minute.
You're listening to the EIB Network on 77 WABC.
I can't believe the complaint letter I got the other day regarding my commercial for the Conservative Chronicle. I say in that commercial, and this is absolutely true, that you will not see every newspaper column written by your favorite conservatives, George Will, William Buckley, Joseph Sobran, because some newspapers around the country, where there are still 2 newspapers in a town, the dominant newspaper will buy up all the syndicated columnists, but then not run every one of them. Somebody wrote back, that's not true, they run it. They do not, and you don't know what you're talking about if you think this doesn't happen. We have to guard against it in this show. When we started out, there were some stations who wanted to take this show not to run it, just to own the rights to it and put it on the shelf. It's called shelving it. They do it in newspapers, too. If you want to read every column that Cal Thomas writes, or Joseph Sobran, or Bill Sapphire, or William Buckley, you need the Conservative Chronicle. It's a great buy at $39 for a year. Call 800-888-3039. It's 1-800-888-3039.
The Fraternal Order of Police has extended its campaign against auto theft called Operation Lockup for 2 more years because of their successes to date. Their campaign centers around an anti-theft device called the Club. Let's look at some statistics. Approximately 2 million clubs were sold last year. During that same period, national statistics indicate that 1 in every 119 cars was stolen. That means from the 2 million cars that were protected by the Club, there would have been 16,806 cars stolen if the Club were not used. The manufacturer of the Club pays $500 toward deductible if your car is stolen. There were a total of 147 claims made in 1991. It would appear that instead of 16,806 cars stolen, that because the Club was used, this figure was reduced to 147. That translates to a 98% reduction in theft. They solicit your help in their fight against auto theft. Please don't park your car without putting the Club on the steering wheel. Accept no imitations. The one tested and recommended by the Fraternal Order of Police must say the Club on the handle. Accept no other. It costs less than $60. The Club is available at Sears, Kmart, BLT Auto Parts, and Academy Auto Parts. Protect your car with the Club.
All right, tell me about the Subaru Legacy Wagon. Tell me the Legacy Wagon has 70 cubic feet of cargo space. That'll keep my 3 dogs happy. Tell me it offers all-wheel drive traction. Now the skiers in the family are smiling. Tell me it'll last for years and it's inexpensive to maintain. Now the guy with all the money that has to pay for this is laughing, namely me. Tell me, I have the money. I want to know what to drive.
The Subaru Legacy Wagon. What to drive?
With factory-to-dealer incentives, now's a great time to buy a Subaru. Hurry in, offer ends soon.
Here's the all-star lineup for this Saturday on WABC. From 6 till 10 a.m., the best of Bob Grant, followed by Lynn Samuels live from 10 till 1. Then Adrian Berg and The Money Show from 1 till 4. Health and Fitness with Dr. Dina Dell from 4 till 6. World News this week at 7. Then at 7:30, the Yankees take on Minnesota. After the game, enjoy the best of Joy Behar this Saturday on WABC. Lynn Samuels, tomorrow morning, 10 till 1 on WABC.
Chosen by God to lead the most listened to radio talk show in the history of civilization. Rush. Folks, I'm going to read the Murphy Brown script to you. I'm going to read the important part of this script. I'm going to read to you what it says in this script. Let me give you the setup. Murphy and Frank, whoever that is. I don't watch the show, so I don't know. Murphy and Frank are watching the news, or it's on at Murphy's house, and the vice president comes on and makes the comments that he made. And Murphy is stopped dead in her tracks. What? Did you hear that, Frank? Did you hear what he said about me? Quiet, Murph, there's more. She says, I'm glamorizing single motherhood? What planet is he on? Look at me, Frank. Am I glamorous? Frank says, of course not. You look disgusting. Murphy says, you're damn right. People in prison get to shower more often than I do. And what was that crack about just another lifestyle choice? Frank says, Murph, take it easy, the baby. Murphy, I agonized over that decision. I didn't know if I could raise a kid by myself or not. Frank, I know. Murphy, I worried about what it would do to him. I worried about what it would do to me. I didn't just wake up one morning and say, oh, gee, I can't get in for a facial. I might as well have a baby. I didn't say that. Frank, Murph, I don't blame you for being angry. But wait until Rush Limbaugh has commented on this before you decide what you think about it. Rush Limbaugh understands all of this stuff very well. Before you blow your gasket, if Limbaugh criticizes Quayle, then you go ahead. But if Limbaugh doesn't, stay out of it, Murph. That's what it says here, folks. I am telling you that is in the script that they sent me. Now, do you see why I am... I'm sorry, I can't allow you to think that that's what's here. But I was reading from it. Here's where the hit comes. Frank says, Murph, I don't blame you for being angry, but consider the source. This is a man who gave a speech to the United Negro College Fund and said what a waste it is to lose one's mind. And then he spent the rest of his term showing the country exactly what he meant. Tomorrow he'll probably get his head stuck in his golf bag and you'll be old news. Murphy, I don't know, Frank. I'm too tired to think. All I want to do is take a shower. So go, take a shower. Take two. You're right. I shouldn't let it bother me. After all, it's not the kind of thing anyone's going to pay attention to. Then the rest of the script is how the Washington Post and all kinds of television shows want Murphy Brown for interviews and this kind of thing. And I must tell you, I have not read beyond this, so I don't know if there are any other slashes and dices, slices and dices. I'm sure there are, but I haven't gotten to them. But that's the first reference to Quayle. It's a 1-hour show. I think this is going to come in the second half hour before they get to this, or right near the end of the first half hour before they get to it. So, anyway, so that's the big deal. Here is, what happened to the guy from, what happened to, there was a guy up there, where was he from? Columbia, South Carolina. There was a guy up there on the phone who said that I was too hard on Bush on the hurricane relief effort. Man. All I said was Bush is taking some heat over the length of time it's taken the federal government to respond. You people out there are going to have to lighten up. You people out there are going to have to start paying more close attention. Here is Dante, is that right? Dante in Daytona Beach, Florida. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Hey.
I was just wondering, if you were President Limbaugh, what would you do about getting medical insurance for the 30 or 40 million people that are working that don't have medical insurance?
What would I do about getting medical insurance for the 30 or 40 million people who are working who don't have? The first thing that I would do would be to do everything this is not an overnight fix, by the way.
Oh, sure.
And it's being presented as an overnight fix by Slick Willie. The first thing that's got to happen in this, if we're ever serious, is market forces need to be introduced into the healthcare industry at all levels, from hospital beds to medicine, prescription, doctors' prices, and all that. How do you do that? You're going to need tort reform. You are going to need to be able to reform some of the legal system in this country. You are going to, and the reason for that is that one of the things everybody's paying for is malpractice insurance. There are some doctors who are simply afraid to practice certain procedures, perform certain procedures, because the risk of malpractice is so high, as litigious as we've become, and the malpractice insurance premiums are so high, they get passed on to consumers, so forth and so on. I mean, there are doctors all over this country who say, over 50 years old, who say, if Bill Clinton's elected, I'm quitting. I'm out of this. I'm not going to have a thing to do. I'm not going to sit here and become a ward of the state. I am not going to become an employee of Washington, D.C. as a doctor and have some guy from Arkansas tell me how I got to perform my job, what I can charge for it, and all this kind of other thing. So the first thing that has to be done is that cost control and a reintroduction of market forces has to come into effect. The next thing that you have to do is to devise a system whereby individuals can insure themselves. Let's face facts about something. We pay for this one way or the other. If you work for a company that offers you a pretty comprehensive medical plan, you may think it's a benefit, but you're paying for it. You are paying for it in the form of a lower salary. And it's the trade-off that you, whether you know it or not, have accepted. Well, the notion that you get what you pay for and you pay for what you want has to survive. The idea that somebody can come along and insure 35 or 40 million people for nothing won't work. We are going to have to find a way for people to be able to buy it and afford it, qualify them as members of large groups, whether they work or not, and then find a way so that they are insured even if they get fired or lose the job, by hook or by crook. And that's going to involve getting people to pay for it. They can't pay for it if market forces are not in practice. You can't sit there and have a hospital charge $2,000 a night for a room or for a bed because people can't pay it. The insurance companies come along and pay it, and you end up paying it by virtue of income that you never get, that you don't see, that's part of a benefits package. And it's just gotten out of control because the federal government has tried to administer so much of it. It's not an overnight fix, and it's being presented that way, and it's also not a crisis. But the thing that we got to do is make sure it does not become another federal program. We'll be back.
You're listening to the EIB Network on 77 WABC.
Now, honestly, somewhere between the evening news and your favorite reruns, you've got some spare time, right? Well, if you'll spend some of that time with the National Dynamics language program, we'll have you speaking and understanding Spanish, French, Italian, German, or Japanese in 30 days. No books, no classes. Just our audio tapes in your home car or portable cassette player. Call this number today, 1-800-545-1985. That's 1-800-545-1985. Now, really, how many reruns can you watch?
If you trust garlic, you can trust Quai. Why? Quai concentrated garlic tablets are odor-free. All the goodness of garlic is concentrated into a tiny tablet that's easy to swallow. Quai's special scientific coating takes it gently through your stomach to prevent the odor and also the repeating and burping you get from other garlic preparations. Garlic is a good idea, and Quai gives you all the goodness of garlic without the problems. Quai, K-W-A-I, at your pharmacy.
There's more to Trop World, put a smile on your face. How lucky can you get? Trop World on the boardwalk is a magical place. How lucky can you get?
Time now for an exclusive Take It With You Atlantic City update. Great news from Trop World for people who want to enjoy some of the freshest, best-tasting foods in the world at home. Now you can take it with you when you visit the marketplace at Trop World. A whole new idea in shopping convenience located on the first floor of the South Tower. Another exclusive Trop World first, the marketplace at Trop World, where you can purchase and take home your favorite fresh-baked breads, Trop World butcher-prepared meats, pastries, seafood delights, special seasonings and condiments, all specially packed for travel, no matter how far or how long you ride. Don't leave for home until you've been to the marketplace at Trop World.
Gee, how lucky can you be? How lucky can you? Wow, how lucky can you?
Trop World Casino and Entertainment Resort, Atlantic City's luckiest place to play.
If you ever wanted to see America, now's the time to do it. With Amtrak's special low All Aboard America fares. Travel round trip in one region for $138, 2 regions for $188, or clear across America and back for just $228. Take 45 days and up to 3 stopovers. Outside, watch the scenery unfold. Inside, you'll find comfortable seats, good food, and friendly service. These special fares are good for travel through December 17th, but reservations must be made by September 30th. So call your travel agent or Amtrak at 1-800-USA-RAIL. Getting in touch with America has never been more within reach. Tickets are non-refundable. Other restrictions apply. If you're 62 or older, ask about our 15% discount.
Costas Coast to Coast, Sunday nights at 9 on WABC.
Got to squeeze one more call in. San Antonio. Scott, welcome to the EIB network.
Good afternoon, Rush.
Hi.
Hey, I think you're the best impressionist since Rich Little.
Thank you.
You do Ross Perot outstanding. When are you going to try Bill Clinton? Take him on.
You know, that's true. I have not impersonated Slick Willie. Let me see. Slick Willie. Try to impersonate Slick Willie. No.
Can you blow your saxophone, Billy boy, Billy boy? Can you blow your saxophone, charming Billy? I can blow my saxophone.
Hey, don't go away. Bob Grant is on the way.
Sun up, sundown, driving in and out of town. Legendary, rough and ready, takes the road sure and steady. All I ever wanted was a Jeep. There's only one Jeep, only one Jeep.
There's only one Jeep Cherokee. It's roomy, it's rugged, and it's the smart time to get one because now you can save over $2,900 bucks. But hurry, this is one offer that won't last for long. Savings based on cashback direct from Chrysler plus package discount savings based on options if purchased separately. Must take delivery from dealer stock. Limited time offer. See dealer for details. Jeep is a registered trademark of the Chrysler Corporation. Remember, there's only one Jeep Cherokee, and it's only at your tri-state Jeep and Eagle dealer.
WABC, New York.
It's 3 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Gary Nunn. Some victims of Hurricane Andrew are savoring their first hot meals in 4 days, thanks to Army cooks manning mobile kitchens airlifted into South Florida this morning as part of the stepped-up federal relief effort. About 8,000 federal troops have been assigned to help there. ABC's Richard Davies in Kendall, Florida, south of Miami, where people are waiting for food and water.
The destruction here in Kendall, south of central Miami, is incredible. A nearby shopping mall has collapsed. Large metal girders are mangled and splayed out in all directions. A big retaining wall lies on the ground. There's a sour smell of smoke from rotting food and vegetation.